this panel with the esteemed panelists CS Upendra Deshpande sir and Dr. Sushil Lohia sir, who has a very vast experience handling all the corporate affairs since the long time. And I think that we should begin the panel. This panel was designed basically to tell all the doctors from the starting that how they should develop their financial profile from the day one they enter into MBBS, so that by the time they become postgraduates, they should be able to have the roadmap so that they will be able to start their own private limited company and their own hospital instead of working for someone else. So we have made a very small uh, 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 things so that small help so that these students uh, can be helped.
Very true.
So let us begin with the panel. So, ma'am, can we share a screen?
Yes, you can.
Just a minute, ma'am. This one. नहीं शेयर करो ना उसको नीचे, वो सिलेक्ट होगी, शेयर कर दो उसको. Hello, ma'am,
Yes.
can you see the screen?
Yes, we can see.
Okay.
You want to go to the first? Yeah.
So, yes. So, ma'am, let us begin with the panel discussion. My first question is to Sushil Lohia sir. If a 18 years male or female from a middle class family gets admission into MBBS in GMC Nagpur, and he has a dream that someday some point have his own hospital, so what should he do? Sir,
See,
Sushil Lohia sir.
thank you, Pankaj, for the question. It's a very tricky question. Mostly, I believe that this belongs to a non-medical family. This chap that is 18 year, he belongs to a non-medical family, and he is a middle-class family. He cannot afford a big fortune, and he has just entered into the MBBS. And while entering into the MBBS, nobody thinks of the business as such per se. What is our first priority is to think about what specialization we will do, and that is what's in our mind. But as a student, we never think about what after our completion of our training, maybe it a MD or MS, maybe it a DM or MCH, or whatever way we want to go. As an MBBS student, we have just thinking I will be a cardiologist, I will be a cardiac surgeon, a neurosurgeon, a urosurgeon, or something like that. But what after that? So it's a good feeling, first of all, ki from so many lot you come into MBBS, or that to a premium institute like GMC Nagpur. So once you are reached to GMC Nagpur, you have won the half battle. Half battle in the sense you have saved a fortune of your parents' backup. I will not say from a middle class family, a parent will be able to support you for a big hospital. But of course, whatever lot you have saved for the tuition fees of private institution or a private college, that is not a less amount. It is a good amount, because we all know tuition fees in the or administrative fees in the medical college is much less as compared to private medical college. Plus, you are saved on caption money. So in business, every saving is considered as a profit, or you have to think about what you will do next. So you have saved our money, and you have earned a good reputation. If you have come to a good institute, you have good alumnus club. Now, when you complete your MBBS in this 5 years period, you will just think of your post graduation and what you would like to do, what branch is appropriate for you, what is your interest. Then after MBBS, you will join some institute. You will take a break of for a year, or may not be taking a break of a year after MBBS, and then enter into a post graduation course. Then the real game starts. Once your PG is over, then you suddenly come to market, or you have to go to a super specialization training. This is the another step. Generally, most of 80% of our fellows or chap will proceed from MBBS to post graduation. Maybe if they take break of some years, or they do MOship in between, or they do something in between. But most of this will go to post graduation. For those who has not progressed to post graduation, don't get disappointed. Your world has not over. You have a good, great MBBS degree in your hand. Now, option after MBBS is either you can start a physician practice, or you can start work as a RMO or resident medical officer in any reputed corporate hospital. Nowadays, it is mandatory for a corporate hospital to have MBBS student as a resident medical officer. It is a NABH recommendation. Initial days when there was no NABH was compulsory for the government scheme, insurances and all other things. Private hospital used to do cost cutting by employing the BMS people or BHMS people. But now there is a demand supply gap for a corporate hospital to employ good trained qualified MBBS doctor. In spite of paying good money, they don't get it. So when you will complete your MBBS, that is 6 years from your joining, and generally you join MBBS at the 17th or 18th year of your life. So I consider you will be ready for doing your professional job if not getting PG somewhere around 25, 26 years of your life, when you have decided ki now I cannot, or I don't want to pursue my post graduation. I am good as MBBS. Or a few might be coming from the rural places where there is no doctor and they want to go back and serve their rural place. So this is the place where you have to decide whether you want to do a general physician practice or you want to do a corporate job. At MBBS now there is a good opportunity. The pay somewhere range from 50,000 rupees to 1 lakh rupees. As the experience grows, it may reach somewhere close to a junior consultant level, which may be up to 1.5 lakh rupees in critical care and emergency department. And now there are a lot of courses which have come up along with MBBS for emergency medicine and critical medicine, which make you qualified for this specified kind of job that you can explore. So not getting a PG is not end of the world. You still have a decent job opportunity for those who want to pursue a corporate job. But MBBS
Yeah.
1,000 days. The day you start your clinic or your personal individual practice,
चलेगा चलेगा
it takes at least
चलेगा
1,000 days
हाँ हाँ
to get recognized by your
हाँ हाँ
colleagues and
यस यस
community.
चलेगा
That
चलेगा
is the
cool.
time where you will start getting some or other patient by your own
फाइनेंशियल
reference
प्लानिंग
or
की बात
your
करने के
own
लिए
clinical
ज़्यादा पूरे बीच
reputation.
नहीं करें सर
So first 1,000 days is a plain and simple investment, whatever the rent or staff salary or what is the electricity bill. It is all a investment in first three years or 1,000 days of your life. So you don't expect when you are on your own as a general physician or maybe after MD MS, your income and expenditure will be almost equal, or sometime income will be less than the expenditure. So you have to prepare for these dry days of 1,000 days. And clinical compatibility. If you want to start a clinical practice, you should be available. Your behavior to your patient, your behavior to your colleague is very critical and very important. And last but not the least and most important is your clinical compatibility. If you are not clinical compatible, you cannot produce result. You cannot produce result. You cannot get re-patient or re-reference from the same family or same patient. So this is after MBBS. After MBBS, generally for starting a general physician practice, you don't
फर्स्ट स्लाइड आ गया
require much of fortune. For a corporate job, it is now widely available, easily
एक
available.
सेकंड
You should be willing and enthusiastic enough to take it. Don't get disheartened. It is a good opportunity. Then what after your post graduation? All of us, after a great struggle, even more greater than the exponentially higher than what you have done in your MBBS days, is to get a good government college for the post graduation. Post graduation comes with the dual challenges. First challenge is to get adequately trained. Second challenge is to get enough exposure and get into the right place, right guide, right unit. There are a lot of things which matters in the post graduation. But fortunately, now the stipend in most of the postgraduate college is quite good enough, if not less.
हेलो सर मे आई
Uh,
इंटरप्ट यू हेलो
yeah.
हाँ sir how can the children how can the students they can make utilization of the amount they are using and instead of wasting that amount they can utilize it for the purpose of reaching their goals at a faster uh, uh, at a faster time,
Right.
or in a less time.
Right. So when he has joined MBBS, he don't have any source of income. So he has to depend on his family source of income. If his family is into business, he's 18-year-old, he can start having building a file that I am sure Mr. Upendra Deshpande will be able to help
Yes,
guide
yes,
us through. Then he can make it a CIBIL score and all this thing, a technical financial thing. I leave it on Mr. Upendra because he's a expertise in the financial field. But most important thing is to file ITR at regular interval, have a good financial behavior, not to take loans, personal loans, which you cannot do or cannot afford. When you are doing post graduation, I give my own example. I started post graduation in 2007. We had a stipend of somewhere around 6 to 8,000 rupees to start with, which was after a strike increased to 12,000 rupees, which was not very high even at that time. So 12,000 rupees in a city like Mumbai, we don't hardly used to get time to spend it. But the most common practice in post graduation in surgical field is whenever you get to do a surgery, you have to give a party. So your major source of expenditure is giving party to your family members. So that expenditure is are already for my good and within 6 months, as you all are aware, the first credit card fraud hit the America, or home loan fraud hit the America, and there was a great recession of 2007, which everybody in financial world know. So my all investment probably in 6 months went zero, I guess. Well, it was hardly very negligent, but somehow it doesn't matter क्योंकि वो तो party में वैसे भी खत्म हो जानी थी. So that chap told me,
At least
sir,
you started, sir. At least you started investing at the right time.
at the right time. I tell you the financial implication of it. That old chap again tell me, Doctor Saab, why don't you increase it to 4,000? Now you are able to manage 2,000. Try doing it 4,000. I did, because I don't know. I was not getting time. I was getting 10 hours a week to sleep. So anyhow, I was not getting time to spend it. So I increased it to 4,000 per month. And to tell you, when I finished my MBBS, I was having some petty amount of 3 to 5 lakh rupees in my mutual fund, which has trebled
Very nice,
by
sir.
the fluctuation of that recession. And what factor that affected it, I didn't knew. But I definitely get to learn one thing: when the world is greedy, you should be adventurous, fearful. And when the world is fearful, you should be greedy. तो जब लोग पैसा निकाल रहे हैं तो अपन ने पैसा डालना है, और जब लोग
बिल्कुल.
पैसा डाल रहे हैं तो अपन ने निकालना है.
Thank you so much, sir. So the take-home message here is for everybody is uh, uh, open the bank account as soon as possible. Start filing your ITR returns and get a PAN card and start investing in some or the other model of investment like SIP mutual funds, so that by the time you complete your graduation or post graduation, you have enough money so that you can have a corpus while entering into the business, may it be a clinic or a hospital or anything, when you finally decide to come into practice.
And this small
So,
corpus really helps, and
yes,
at
yes,
times when you have come from middle class, you don't ask your father to money for buying an instrument. He can spend that money to buy you a clinic as well,
yes, yes, yes.
or rent a clinic, or
Uh,
give a deposit for the clinic.
yes,
That
sir.
makes the difference.
Our next question is: can a small amount of rupees 5,000 per month change his future? And is it necessary to file ITR at such a young age? And what are the benefits that he may get by doing this? And whether he should file ITR through online or through professional like a CA? So can you please guide all our students and colleagues on this?
So I belong to a businessman family. My father is a small trader. So in our family, everybody who's turned 18 have a income tax file. And even if it is a negligible amount of tax that we pay, but everybody in the family have a tax return from the 18th birthday. My father has a very sound logic to it. He says
Hello,
even if you don't pay tax,
hello,
you are number of paying tax is counted in
हाँ,
your financial health,
slide.
and your
अच्छा,
net
तो उसे
worth,
slide show करना है
that is
क्या?
something in your file which keeps on accumulating, and it is directly related how long you are paying tax. Every year, if you can add a corpus of lakh rupees to your net worth, so when you go to a bank for taking a loan, the first thing they see in your income tax file is your net worth, and net worth cannot be built overnight. So it is good idea to start filing tax as early as possible. Online portal has come very recently, and I belong to Marwadi family. I always have cousins who is always a CA. So I can see the difference between online portal and a personalized feeling. It's like a factory made a janta item, or cloth, or a shoes, or a homemade handcrafted artwork. So the financial book is like a art craft, which I'm sure individual personalized attention to that book make a lot of difference, because this guy know your financial goal and life goal. Online portal will be just doing some algorithm and filing it. So it's better to be somebody who's known close to you file your ITR.
Take home message here is that we should always file our ITR from a professional like CA, because we too are doctors and professionals, and we should always go to a professional for making progress into our financial portfolio. Slideshow. Sir, our next question is, what if someone has already completed his MBBS and post-graduation and have not filed their ITR till date? So what can they do to reach their goal?
See, whenever it is called it is never too late to start. If you have completed your MBBS, you already had never had a source of income, that's okay. You didn't file a ITR. But when you are doing your post-graduation, most of the postgraduate nowadays have received a stipend in the range of 40 to 50,000 rupees, and some states even 70,000 to 80,000 rupees. And that income is taxable income by current income tax law. And there is a gray zone of income tax which says ki stipend is not taxable, and some say it is taxable. So it's always a debate, and there is no substantial answer to it, because government has so many black foxes to catch, so they never pay attention to
I may add something over here. When I was postgraduate and we used to get stipend, so one of my cousin brother, who is fortunately a chartered accountant, so he told me that it is better to file ITR and pay your taxes, even though some of the people may say that it is non-taxable, because it helped me later to gain or to procure loans very easily when I started filing my ITR at a younger age. So by the time I completed, I was already having something in my portfolio, so that whenever I approached the bank, the loan was given to me very easily.
Exactly. So because you filed ITR, your stipend was never always so high that using all income tax benefit, you need to pay tax. Most of the time it is zero tax ITR. But every year in that stipend, if you are not shown any expenditure in your file, and you just accumulated 50% of your stipend, which may be 3 lakh rupees a year, you have built over the 3 years, you have built net worth of 9 lakh rupees. That counts when you go for a loan. And net worth cannot be built overnight.
Yeah, that is supposed to be the first step towards the corporate world, that if you get the corpus, then you can think about it. Very nicely taken, that you should create your net worth.
So, Deshpande sir, his voice is not clear. You'll have to speak a little louder, sir.
Okay.
Okay, now?
Yeah.
Okay, fourth question. Okay, my next question is, a group of 5 doctors from middle class family background wants to start a hospital. What can they do to start with, and what all options they have? This question is for Upendra Deshpande, sir.
Yeah. Basically, there are a lot of business entities one can start with.
Hello?
My voice is clear to you?
Hello?
No, sir, little louder.
Okay, just a second.
If you can use the earphones, but both of you are sharing the same screen.
Hello?
Yeah, it's clear, sir.
Yeah, now it is clear?
Yes, sir.
Good. So the thing is that basically we are going to discuss here that if a person wants to start a hospital directly after doing his MBBS, then what he should do, like Dr. Sushil Lohia has taken it very correctly, that he should have a net worth and have some corpus to start with some business. Like everybody do, the students come, they start with the practice. Okay. Now, if he wants to do a practice or a job, that is a separate thing he can do. But my basic idea is to get into a corporate world, and this seminar is about that thing only. So nowadays, a group practice seems to be better than an individual practice. If you want to grow more, you have to be in a group rather than individually taken. So the question asks me, like a group of 5 doctors from a middle class family background wants to start a hospital, what can they do to start with? So basically, if they want to start a hospital, they can get into partnership firms, LLPs, or a private limited company. So these are the business entities they can get into for starting a hospital. Yes, Pankaj.
Okay, sir. So, what are the benefits of a private limited company?
Sir, we have Viral Shah, sir. He wants to add something to this. Viral Shah, sir, you can speak. We have unmuted you.
Please.
Yeah, thank you so much, President Madam.
Yes, sir.
Pankaj, I would like to ask Upendra ji,
Yes.
what about the option of MSc now available to the hospitals, small hospitals like us?
Sorry.
MSCB.
Option of MSME.
MSME.
MSME, अभी तो चल रहा है.
Yes. The option of MSME for the hospitals.
Yeah.
They can get into MSME registration when the hospital is started. We are talking about a private limited company to get started. If they have, they can get into a private limited company registration, then they can have this MSME registration also. So they can have a practice in MSME also. After getting a registration in a private limited company or a partnership or a LLP. What we are not now talking about a corporate segment which a hospital should have.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay. So what are the benefits of starting a hospital under a private limited company?
See, basically why we are starting a private limited company for doctors, like I said, that the individual practice seems to be a very old kind of thing. Now there are some advantages of a private limited company, like there is collective effort, then there is a teamwork. Various experts are there under one roof, okay, in a private limited company. Then the growth in team is more than an individual growth, okay, after a certain limit. If you want to grow further, you have to be in a group rather than, you're practicing like small areas. So the areas also get divided into different expertise depending upon their expertise, knowledge and everything. And the best part of being in a private limited company that there are a lot of transparencies due to the Companies Act regulation. Okay. And the recognition of a private limited company is very highly reputed. Okay. So the third parties like banks, financial institutions, private equity investors, government, everybody is looking for a private limited company. They feel that these companies are more safer than the private individual or a partnership firm.
Okay.
Yeah. So the higher recognition is definitely there to start a private limited company.
Limited company
yeah.
is better than other
a normal
entities.
thing, yeah, LLP or a partnership thing. Then nowadays, private limited companies are very easily incorporated. Like I mentioned in the slide, if you can see that. Now the MCA, that Ministry of Corporate Affairs, has started a new thing that they come up with a zero fees for a private limited companies incorporation, which has been newly introduced a year before. So you can now incorporate a company having no fees, that is zero fees. Then after having this private limited company, it is very easy to arrange funds from banks and financial institutions. This is supposed to be the most important point. The doctors who are newly started their practice, arranging funds seems very difficult for the doctors to start a hospital. So if they have this private limited company, the arrangements from the banks and financial institutions are better, because banks and financial institutions think that having a private limited company means you have more compliances with the Companies Act, you have more transparency, and you have more recognition towards the thing. Again, the thing is that if you take loans from financial institutions or from banks or from any other party, the repayment of the loan seems to be a different question in that case. Doctors have that fear that the repayment of loan would be a very difficult thing, that their personal asset may get attached and anything might happen, like in case of partnership firms or individual practice is there. So repayment of loan in case of a private limited company, the financial liability of a shareholder is limited to their share amount. Okay. So therefore, your private limited company, if it gets into financial trouble,
if there is any kind of trouble or any
non-compliance.
non-compliance.
No, not about the non-compliance of the thing. If they get into any financial trouble, okay, so their risk is limited to the amount of share capital they have invested in the company. Their personal assets will not get
Personal
affected.
assets are safeguarded in the
Very safe, very
Okay.
safe. So that is the main thing. That is why it is called as private limited company. The limited thing,
The liability is limited.
The liability is limited to the extent of share capital they have invested. Another thing is that global expansion, if you are thinking after this thing having a private limited company, would be.
It comes at a later stage, but
Yeah, it comes at a later stage. But if you are thinking, think big rather than thinking a small thing. That I always advise everybody. So if they want to go for a global expansion, they recognize private limited company. All other countries than India, they recognize private limited company than private limited, this partnership form. So another thing is that if you want to sell this business entirely, that is in private limited company, if you grow further, it has more value than the.
Okay.
Yeah.
The value you get after a certain period of time is more.
Okay.
Sir, can I just suggest that if you can log in from, I mean, if you can put on the earphones, or because your voice is not clear. And Pankaj sir, if you can log in from your another mobile or something.
Clear?
Yeah, it's clear now.
Okay.
Notified?
You'll have to go to another room, sir. Otherwise, it will create an echo.
Ma'am, please unmute me also.
Unmute करतो ना. Now I am audible to you. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Now I am audible to you.
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Okay. And disturbance about Dr. Pankaj Agrawal is fine now.
We have not unmuted him yet.
Yeah, please unmute him. That would be better, I think.
But sir, it will create an echo. He'll have to go to another room.
So the option is we can switch this mobile off also. We can log out from this mobile.
All right, sir. Let's carry on.
Ma'am, we can continue.
Okay.
So as we are talking about this private limited company, the sale value, okay, if you incorporate a private limited company and if you want to sell this entire business, the sale value of a private limited company is more higher, and basically you get good goodwill amount in this private limited company, and a foreign funding also is possible in private limited company. Is there any kind of disturbance in audio?
Yes, sir. Pankaj, you'll have to log out from your mobile. It's creating an echo.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Or you'll have to shift to another room.
I'm logging out.
Okay.
Then you get income tax benefit as far as other entities are concerned. Now, to promote private limited companies, the income tax rate is now 25%, which is 5% lesser than the other entities.
So my next question is it safe to invest in private limited company, and how does this model work?
Yeah, very nice. So basically, doctors have fear that if they invest in a private limited company, what will happen to their money, whether it will vanish off or they'll get losses or something like that. I would like to tell here that the private limited company. Hello? Hello? Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please go on.
Okay. The thing is that as private limited company is governed by Companies Act, okay, the transparency level, as I already mentioned, is very high. Like you have to every year file certain returns where all shares detail has to be provided. All balance sheets and profit
Because
and loss.
many new doctors who don't know the working of a private limited company, they are usually scared in investing in a place where there are multiple people who have invested their money.
Correct.
So the first question for everyone who is wants to join the company or who wants to come into the group practice is that whether whatever I am going to invest, it is going to be safe or not.
I would rather tell that investing in a private limited company is safest. Your balance sheet online also to see who is the directors and who are the shareholders of this company.
Everything is available
Everything
online.
is available online. You can go online and have your login and you can check these details. As a private limited company, exists as a separate entity from its members. So it is known by its own entity. The members may come and the members may go, but the entity remains forever is the main funder behind this private limited company. So another thing is if somebody wants to exit from this private limited company, that if he wants to sell his share,
if you want to move out of the country or if you want to
the doctors
get into another
if you have certain other planning that if you want to go outside for doing something or you want to go outside for practice, then he can definitely exit from this business. So there is a provision to transfer the shares or you can sell out these shares to anybody you like. The board has to intervene in that and has to see whether these transfers are correct or not. Okay. And another thing is also that these shares can be given as a gift to your children or
your family members or anybody.
Anybody you can give this. So the exit model in this company is better than any other partnership.
So what is the most important thing for any person who wants to enter an already existing private limited company? What all things he should look before entering any private limited company?
Yeah, basically, before entering this private limited company, as I already said, that he can go online and check the details of the company. He can see the balance sheets of the company, which has been already filed. He can see the number of directors. He can see the whole business thing, which is going since last many years by analyzing the balance sheets and everything. Then there is something called as memorandum of understanding and shareholders agreement. He has to go through that also if he wants to invest.
The terms and conditions before entering the company, he should thoroughly get it. Should he take any legal consultation before entering into the company or?
No, he should take certain legal consultation. If he cannot, search online that like we being a financial sector person, so he cannot enter into the doctor's area. So doctors cannot see everything what they like. So the thing is that he can come and have a legal consultation if he wants to enter or invest in a private limited company. If he wants to be a director in a company, he should definitely take a legal help to ask whether this company has certain liabilities or not. So a legal consultant like a company secretary in practice can definitely help him to.
And does it make any difference by investing as a director or a normal shareholder in a company?
No, see, director, if you enter as a director and plus the investment kind of thing, so directors have certain responsibilities and liabilities in the company. As far as the working of the company is concerned, like if you have a hospital, and if you want to become a director in that hospital, you have to look after every work the company is doing. And if you are only a shareholder, that if you just want to invest in the company, you will get only dividends. Being director, you can be either executive director. Executive director is supposed to be a person who is working in the hospital, and a non-executive director is supposed to be a person who is only there for his name. So these kind of things are there. Being executive director, you get salary in that company, and non-executive director generally don't have the salary, but the liabilities are definitely there being a director. Then you need to have board meetings, you need to attend the board meetings. But being a director in a company gives you right to intervene in all the decisions taken by the company.
So the take-home message here is you can invest in any format. Either it can be a shareholder or a director.
Yeah, if you want to work in that company along with the investment, you should definitely be a director in the company rather than the company. A shareholder has only a say as far as when it comes to AGM, as far as the dividend matter is concerned.
But they are not allowed to enter into the board meeting.
They are not allowed to enter into board meeting. They cannot intervene in the normal day-to-day working. They cannot enter.
They cannot enter. Okay. But the overall take-home message here is that entering into an institution who is working under a private limited company is far more safer and
better,
robust
yeah,
and
obviously.
better financial structure than a limited liability partnership firm or a partnership firm.
Obviously, partnership firm has that thing.
And there are a lot of chances of increasing or expanding your business in the future if you work under a
private limited company has really good growth segment. They can reach to a listed thing. That they can get listed in BSE and NSE, whatever the stock exchanges we have in India. They can also list themselves outside India also. Like there are many big companies now in India, like Apollo Hospital, Dr. Pathlab. You can see my slide if you can see it. The Fortis Healthcare is there, which is supposed to be a very big company in India. Metropolis is there, KMC especially. Another thing is that if you get into a private limited company being a doctor, you have other segment of expansion also, like medicines. If you want to expand, like you want to expand in some kind of research activity that you can also do in a private limited company.
Okay.
So the areas are really vast, and you get the scope as you have multiple expertise in this. Being a private limited company, you have many people into the group. Like that, it can grow a lot.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. You have been very helpful. So the take-home message from Lohia sir and Upendra sir is that first complete the education and start as early as possible, and start accumulating corpus by investing into the mutual funds and SIPs. Get your ITR filed on time, preferably to a professional like chartered accountant. Then, as soon as you develop some corpus and you are ready to enter into practice company rather than starting it with an LLP or a partnership firm. So
I definitely would like to give a message that upcoming and newcomer doctor must look for a bigger picture. Try to get into
and the future is getting the large rather than working in a small individual hospital, the thing of the past.
Yeah. So this
is along with that, there are certain questions coming up in the chat box. If you can take it together.
Sure. How can I see the chat box?
Okay, I can just read. There's a question from Dr. Varsha Sada. Can a partnership firm be converted to private limited company or vice versa?
Yeah, you can convert a partnership firm into a private limited company for sure. But there are certain procedures which has to be undertaken.
Okay, and how many minimum members needed for any private limited company?
There are 2 members. There is also a concept started by this company law for you can have a one-person company. Which is
one person.
Yeah, that concept is really new. So if you want to have a company, that you can also incorporate a one-person company. But like I said, my idea to get into this private limited company that you should work in a team rather than working individual.
And Lohia sir have been adding to our chats also along with your discussion. He has put very good comments also. So thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
You can go ahead, sir. Pankaj sir.
So Pankaj, in addition to what Mr. Upendra Deshpande have told us about LLP and private limited company, because while forming the Kingsway, we have undergone through whole this procedure of LLP, then partnership firm, and then mergers, and then the converting into private limited company.
So you must have experienced all the troubles of having LLP or another partnership firm, and then the convenience of having a private limited company.
So we had a private limited company to start with. Then we merged our entity with a LLP, which was owning the building infrastructure. And then combinedly we have a new private limited company. So I have gone through the all complexity of.
So ultimately you have a private limited company.
Yes, ultimately we have a private limited company.
That's what we suggest everybody. That at the beginning you should start with the private limited company.
Yes. I completely agree with what Mr. Upendra is saying. There are a lot of people who are attracted specifically toward limited liability partnership because the name is very catchy. It says your liability is limited as per your share holding in the company, but and it has additional advantage of income tax over the private limited company, which in initial days lucrative. But believe me, when you're starting a hospital, income tax is not a matter for first 5 years of your business, because you are not
Yes.
going to break the
So we should
EBITDA
look at
or
look at a larger picture initially only, so that
yes.
later it becomes less troublesome.
Yes, yes, very true. So private limited is definitely a way to go. All other things are quite catchy, but has lot of managerial problem. Any single partner can obstruct your business and do lot of nasty things in a limited liability partnership.
That is
And
very true.
private limited companies hold company with laws, and company laws are really strict and very stringent in the country. Before venturing into it, we never knew company laws matters a lot. The penalties are really severe and very high. So it is always better to involve a consultant in the beginning only, and form your contracts and do all the regulations as required by the company laws. That
So
includes
this
the number of
makes
board
it
meeting,
more
AGMs.
transparent for anybody to enter. This makes it
Yes, it
more.
has to be. It has to be internally audited and third party audited. All private limited company has to have audited, and it definitely fetch better value. And the most important thing, when you start a hospital, you are looking for additional business other than your practice. You are earning through your practice. So if in the years when you have make your company successful, you have done a success, created a successful model of business, then you want to either extrapolate it and make it or expand it or make it a huge fortune out of it. So as you see, the startups like done by ITs like Zomato, Uber, and all these are IT startup, or Amazon. They are all loss-making businesses at the till the moment, but their valuations are so high that their investor who has invested few crores or few lakhs of rupees in the beginning are now billionaire. So if you want to actually make money out of your company, the best thing is after 3 or 5 years, when you're successfully created a successful running business model, you have to sell it.
Okay.
And at that time, the private limited company, not whole business, but some shares of your business, so that you
So
take,
what are your views on listing your company?
yes,
Are you
you have to list your company, or you have to sell it to a capital venture list or somebody else, or like some Manipal Parkway has acquired lot of global hospital chain in the India. Similarly, Singapore hospital chain is also looking for the hospital chain in India. This is the time where if you have a sound business company in the running in the hospital business, and the projection, let me tell you the projection in the hospital industry. It says the hospital industry or a healthcare industry is bound to deliver $100 billion by 2025.
okay?
So
Yeah.
that's why the suddenly the Parkway and lot of international business chain of venture capitalists, they have sudden interest in the hospital sectors of India. That's why the Fortis got acquired by Manipal University. Or
Yes.
that's why the Medanta was the valuation of Medanta per bed. The in industry the valuation goes per bed. So as per my all sources, the valuation of Medanta per bed was 6 crore rupees per bed. That Dr. Trehan denied.
Oh
And
my
let me
God.
tell, and currently, if you want to put that, Dr. Trehan's Institute is quite old. Currently, if you want to put a hospital in Delhi without infrastructure cost, I mean property cost, it goes somewhere around 90 lakh rupees per bed.
Okay.
So that is the
It's quite
valuation
high.
six. So that is the valuation or profit that you get out of selling your business to somebody. So that he might not have sold because of whatsoever reason, but as a businessman, when you're looking at the investor in the company or a businessman in the industry, so you have to have a private limited company.
That is the magic of having a private limited company, that you can
So
grow at any level.
my question to Upendra sir, is it possible for a group of small doctors to list their companies in near future or some time of their life,
Yeah,
who have
definitely they
started a
can
small
do it.
hospital
If
and
Apollo can do it, if Dr. Pathlet can do it, you can also do it. That is
so
for
the
sure.
take home message is that every company which is there out there, which was started by a few doctors, can be listed at some point of their life. So always have a bigger goal, so that start with a company and at some point of your life you can make it a listed company, so that you can have an exponential gains out of that.
Mr. Bhupendra, I want to ask you something to guide a panel, our participant about. That is the
Sure.
advantage of startup, because when you start your company, there are limited time which is available to you to catch the benefit of a startup. what income tax and the other benefit we can achieve by doing a right proceduring for the company. And third, which is now, initially the MSME sector definition was very tight and narrow, and currently government has increased it to 1 crore for a micro and 5 crore
Correct.
for 10 crore for a small, and 20 crore and 100 crore turnover for a medium enterprises. So
Correct.
let's shed some light what advantage a doctor or company can avail out of all this law, because I have seen few people who have started their company 5 years before the company actually start functioning, and they might
Mhm.
have lose their advantage of startup and all other things. So how to not to do big mistakes to avail this benefit?
Basically, see, if you are ready for the, some people, what people do, they don't have knowledge about the company thing and they start the company, okay? You have to get through idea that whether you are now ready to have a company. If they don't have any project, like if they don't have any hospital project with them, they should not go for a private limited company. If they already have a project where they want to go for a private limited company, then only they should think about it and they should have a private limited company. Then with the startup company, being a startup company, they can get the advantages of this thing. Once they start doing this thing, a startup company, then they can apply for a MSME segment. Then they can avail both benefit of a startup company and a MSME thing. And to get all benefits, you should have basically a proper planning and proper designing to do everything in time. What happened? There are a lot of people are there. They just want to start a company and start working. That they first incorporate a company, then they start searching for a project, what to do in that company, how many people are going to join in the company. So that process takes time, which makes them not to have all these benefits in their time. So basically, they must have an idea. They should consult somebody before doing it. See, the online process is very simple. That you go to the site MCA, that is Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and you have your own company registered with a zero fees. Now people are wanted to have a director position in a private limited company, but that is not enough for that. Okay, once you have the project, you think about the company, consult somebody, have certain planning, then only you go for the thing.
Right. So when you have formed a group of like-minded 5 or 10 doctors, then
Yes.
you should sit together. You should decide what exactly you are looking for, what scale of hospital you are looking for, what are your resources initially to build, what corpus you can build by your own money, and
Yes.
to what extent you can increase the project. Have all rough idea, like you are building a building, have all material on table, then consult right consultant, create a right dish, and then do it, rather than doing it
Other,
anything in hurry and then regretting it later. Has lot of trouble when you want to do regularization in company act. It is a really painful job.
yes, actually it is. Actually, it is. You can think for, you can think of a leasehold premises to start a hospital. A lot of doctors think that they have to have their own hospital to start up with. So you can plan a leasehold hospital and you can start a hospital. Then you can shift that hospital into a new premises or whatever premises you have. So that can also be done.
Any other question we have?
Yeah, so there's one question. What could be best exit policy?
Best exit policy from a private limited company.
Yes,
They can
That's
sit on
yeah.
the share.
that is a very technical answer. I tell you the what Mr. Bhupendra wants to tell you. Private limited company doesn't come with any restriction if you are not director, as he said clearly. So if you are a shareholder, or maybe a 5% shareholder, 2% shareholder, or 10% or 20% shareholder, your holding is related to your shares. You don't, if you are not matching with the group, you sell your share and exit out. You are over.
Okay.
That is private limited company.
Yeah, that is the best feature in a private limited company. You can exit any time you want. You take the
Ma'am is asking at what point, point of time you should exit the company.
No, no.
No. He's not.
No,
She's not
okay.
asking what point of time. She's asking how to
Yeah, already.
secure her
I have already
investment
spoken
Point,
money.
I
about
think
the
point
exit.
they'll decide on their own when they want to exit.
Yes, but the important thing is your investment should be protected. That is major concern.
Yeah.
If you are not gelling with the group, if you are not right matching with the environment, you are not happy with the working environment or functioning of the hospital or functioning of the company, you want to exit. You don't like the working there, or you are feeling that it is company is not doing justice to your clinical skill, or you have potential and you don't want to continue practicing with this group of people, you want to go somewhere else. So your investment should be safe, secure, and that is the private limited company, because it is binded by the law. It has to be a third party assessor who has to assess the value of your share at that moment of time when you are exiting. It may be in your favor, it may not be in your favor, but it will be fair as per the
My
market
question
standard,
to
investment
sir.
standard.
So, can we sell the share at a premium, whatever the third party assessor has given us the value of the share?
Yeah, there are valuers who are already there. They can value your share and you can exit on the basis of that. You can sell off the share to anybody. But there are certain restrictions given to the board that they may ask you to sell the share first to the existing member.
First to the exiting member.
Yeah. I think Dr. Sushil Lohia has gone through everything. You have an experience about everything, I think.
Yes,
I would like to meet you in person.
Certainly, we will definitely do.
Okay.
You can share your shares at premium, but whenever you sell share more than the book value of your or third party assessor value of what you are selling,
the capital
gain tax will come in.
Okay.
But
Now,
that doesn't matter. If you make profit, it doesn't matter.
You definitely make profit.
Premium only, I would suggest, if you want to ever sell.
Yeah.
So we have, we have some young doctors who have joined us. So can you, either of you can just guide them? Maybe Sushil Lohia sir can take this. Young doctors who have just finished their degrees, how they should go ahead? Like they should start their own practice or they should join some hospital? How should they go ahead with it?
So young doctor who has finished their degrees, maybe a MD, MS or DM or MCH.
Yeah.
If you are MD, MS, mostly you are into practice by before 30th year of your age. And if you are DM or MCH, you are into practice after 30th year of your age. So the age matters for a doctor because you have started your family at what, there are certain factors that you have to look in. Whether you are starting your practice in your native hometown or your wife's native hometown or at a third place where there is no family support. It makes a hell lot of difference in what kind of practice you are going to start. If you are starting your practice in your native hometown, whether you have your ancestral or parental house and you're staying with them, then you are looking only toward your own and your personal family expenditure. Then the best way to start is to have a consulting chamber, because that give you identity. You don't have that much of money. You can start a 10-bedded or 20-bedded or 30-bedded hospital. Anyhow, the government regularization, the standardization, and the demand of market is as such that a small setup, unless and until to a quality or a specific kind of specialty, cannot cater to complex cases. And most of your volume is small cases, but at the initial days of your life, it is difficult to manage that. So my advice for people who have started practice either at their own parental place or vice parental place, whosoever, where they have a place to live without a much burden of your home loan. Of course, at that stage, you have car loan with you and few equipment that you have bought specific to your specialty, that loan is with you. If you have saved in your post-graduation days, then probably you can take care of your equipment at that moment. But still you have some basic expenditure and car loan, which is not very high. Then starting a consult.
Hello?
Yes, Pankaj.
Sir, I would like to add something, that all the postgraduates, they should avoid buying liabilities as far as possible.
First 3 years of your life, you should try not to bring too much liability to you. The whole world is waiting for you and you will have great opportunity. The important thing is
you can buy a bigger car or a bigger luxurious thing.
So
we should focus on starting our own hospital.
Basic necessity which is required to conduct your clinical practices is the importance in first 3 years of your life. Start a consulting chamber because that gives you recognition. That is your day zero of recognition. Then it requires 1,000 days rule for people and your colleague to accept you in the market.
Always look for like-minded people, gel with them, and always dream of starting a group practice so that later you can have a bigger hospital where all the empanelments and TPAs, they agree to find with you, and you can have a better future.
So first 1,000 days you have to prove your clinical skill, your behavior and availability. get attached to as many people, join as many social group you can join. I joined JCI in year 2013 with Dr. Ashish Khandelwal roping in me in. I started my practice in 2011, end of 2011, and I have worked with Dr. Viral Shah sir in 2012. And believe me, joining this kind of organization has given me a great social networkity and connection and penetration all along the medical world of Nagpur, of like-minded, same age group or 5 years plus minus age group, of people who are in the same stage of practice or little ahead of practice, helping you building your practice. That makes a difference in your practice. Then
Thank you so
starting
much,
a
sir.
hospital, you have to be doubly, triply, and 5 times sure that the people you are starting hospital is like-minded, have the same goal and same requirement from their life. Your group integrity and compatibility, 5 or at least a 10 specialists should come together who are going to share the infrastructure, medical as well as the physical and the architectural. And then they should form a private limited company, make certain, be very clear and shrewd in defining what
Yes.
is your negative
All the
point,
goals should be defined very well.
very well and very clearly discussed.
Clearly on
Because
paper. It should be in black and white, no matter how good
yes,
your friendship is,
how
but all
close
the
you
goals
are.
should be written very well in black and white.
It should be very black and white. Your exit policy should be written very clear. You should safeguard yourself and your company as well. And first is yourself. Once you are secured and once you are safeguarded, your company is safeguarded. Company is made of people, of course. So while making a deal, it should be win-win for everybody. Be generous. There are few specialists who are through the pharmacy. There are few specialists who are through the pathology. There is few specialists who are through the intervention, and you have to respect that. And you have to take that into the consideration. That is the only thing you have to be
A memorandum
open-handed
of
and open.
understanding is must before entering into the group practice. There should be an MOU between the directors or the shareholders before entering, and it should be a very well written MOU from an expert like Upendra Deshpande sir, and even Sushil. We can consult people like Sushil Lohia sir, who have a very vast experience, who has gone through all this himself. So, any other questions, ma'am, we have for?
How is the cost of share at the exit time decided?
It's a third-party valuation.
Yeah, it is on the basis of the balance sheet, the assets value. Okay. Then you have to get it valuation and you can sell it off.
Even we can sell it at a premium. We have already discussed.
You are definitely going to sell it at the premium, that is for sure, but you're definitely going to attract a capital gain tax on it also.
Bhupendra sir, can you tell about something about book value, market value, so that people in the forum have idea how the valuation is done?
So the valuation is done depend upon the book value, as Lohia sir said. The book value of the share depends upon the assets at which you have purchased the thing, and the market value is the cost at which the asset is going to be sold off as on that date. So, for example, when you have invested like 1 lakh rupees, then the asset value is around 2 lakh rupees. Now, if you want to sell the shares of 1 lakh rupees, then the asset value is 20 lakh rupees. It comes in tenfold. Your share value becomes in tenfold. So that is the premium you get.
And similarly, the aspiration value also adds, or brand value also add to your value.
That also adds to it. The goodwill thing is also added to it, and you get a good amount in that share.
So all this helps to exponentially grow your value in the market. So you have to have
you have already gone through everything, I think.
Sort of. Marta kya na
Any
karta.
other question we have? Any other question we have to discuss?
Right now, we don't have any questions in the chat box now. I would request if there's any question, they can put it into the chat box.
Yes.
Sure.
They can contact me also for the question so that I can forward it to Upendra Deshpande sir and Lohia sir for any further queries if
Exactly.
if any of the people here wants to ask anything.
Exactly.
So guys, don't be afraid of group practice. We all have heard the stories of a lot of failures of groups in past. But believe me, that days are very old, and there were a lot of gray zone in companies law since 2013, and recently 2020, I guess, 19, I guess, company law has been stringently changed, and now most of the investment, and especially the small shareholder investment, is taken care by the government. So don't be afraid of forming group.
So it is regulated and safe.
It is much more regulated, and group practice is the only way you can fight a corporate. Otherwise, corporate world is very nasty and it works on totally different principle. So it is important for doctors to come together, form a good corporate hospital, because we all want to deliver a experience and class to our patient, and our fear should not be a hindrance in starting a good company and good corporate hospital.
Thank
Sir
you so
has
much, sir.
put up
Thank
his
you.
yes, and Deshpande sir has put up his number in the chat box if you need anything.
Yeah, I've given my number in the chat box. If anybody can contact me, wanted to contact me, they can
Lohia sir,
definitely.
you want to answer that?
Yeah, I am reading Varsha's madam comment.
Yeah.
मैडम वो क्या है कि जैसे आप
सर
एक
पूरा
बार कोर्ट
पैकेज
में
है
फंस
मैम.
जाओ ना, तो आप यू नो लॉ बेटर देन
No,
द लॉयर
he
समटाइम.
has experiencing everything. He's experiencing everything.
I
So
think
I
कोई पेशेंट सर
You
बहुत
can be
ज्यादा
a CS. You can do it.
कोई
वो अपने
पेशेंट
मारवाड़ी लोगों की खासियत ही रहती है ना, वो सब चीजों में सीएस सब आ ही जाता है.
No community talking. No
so
community talking.
Okay.
when we started a company, when we was about to start our company, in every meeting some other used to come and say company law में allowed नहीं, company law में वो allowed नहीं, company law में ऐसा नहीं कर सकते, वैसा नहीं कर सकते. So one night I decided I read company law.
Great.
Though I hardly understand it a lot, but it is not very big document. It is some 200-page document, and you can all read it.
Yes.
Probably will understand basic. Then you can discuss with a competent authority or person who is practically handling it. It is like you cannot navigate sea with reading a book. Similar way, you require a consultant, but at least you will understand what consultant is telling you better after reading a law book.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
So there's
Thank
one
you.
last question, if we can take this. Dr. Anuradha, I think you'll have to reframe the question. Would this apply to allied health fields as well? Would this apply to allied health fields as well? She is a physiotherapist,
Right.
and what would apply?
Yes,
Physiotherapist,
to all fields.
any company. It is the basically
And
law
even
for all.
non-professional also can form a company. May it be a doctor or a non-doctor, anybody can form a company. So even physiotherapists, dentists, Ayurvedic consultants, anybody can enter into the company and with the like-minded people, and they can start their own company.
See,
So
for
it
a
is not that
hospital,
only MBBS doctors can form a company or a hospital. Even non-doctors can form a hospital. There are a lot
for a
of
hospital
non-medical
company,
investors.
for a hospital company, I will tell you by practical experience, two things, two understanding is basically required. If it is a non-professional, non-doctor, he has to understand that doctor is earning through his clinical skill, which he has harnessed or trained after decades of practice. So he is legitimate by earning that. As well, he has invested money in the company. So he is legitimate to get money out of the investment also. For a professional who is investing, or doctor who is invested into the company, has to understand that other than the professional skill and other things, there are a lot of non-medical things in which works in the business that make money, and you have to respect that. Once you start respecting both this factor, and money has to earn money, once you start respecting this both the factor, then the basic understanding can be easily established.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Any other question we have?
No, there are no questions as of now. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Lohia sir and Upendra Deshpande sir. It was truly a very fruitful discussion. Now I would like to invite Deepika Chandok for her vote of thanks. Just unmuting you, Deepika. Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, so hello everyone. We all would agree that it was truly an amazing session, actually an eye-opener for a lot of us. So our sincere thanks to our past President JC, Dr. Sushil Lohia sir, Mr. Upendra Deshpande sir. Thank you so much for guiding us today. And we have our past presidents with us, Viral Shah sir, Sachin Devkar sir, Dinesh Agarwal sir, Zone Director PR and IPP Smita Pakmode ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us today. And today's session was so inspirational that I'm sure that everyone would be now more confident in taking a first step towards their corporate world. Thank you everyone who has joined today's session and made it a grand success. And before all of us leave, it's a small request to everyone. If you could just unmute our mics. And it is Dr. Smita Pakmude's birthday today. Ma'am, you're the backbone of JC and Nagpur Medico. We would just like to sing happy birthday for you. Lockdown
You can unmute yourself, I guess.
Can we all please sing for ma'am?
We have celebrated her birthday, arranging all the trainings and engaging her into the trainings. She had no time to cut the cake.
Yeah.
She is better this birthday from
Okay, ma'am.
I'm
Happy
trying
birthday.
to record this.
1 minute, 1 minute. Yeah, everyone can unmute.
Start.
Okay.
Should we start? President ma'am?
Yeah. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday
Birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Happy birthday, Simita ma'am. Happy birthday to
Birthday
you.
to you.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
dear friend. You made my days very
I have
special.
many trainings for you.
Yes.
ऐसे हो
We
गया?
kept her engaging into the trainings, all the trainings, है ना?
Yes.
Yes,
है ना?
So you're muted.
Lock training.
Thank you so much.
Okay, there's another announcement of the training. Tomorrow we are going to have a very, very prolific speaker, Mahaguru, Dr. Suresh Chari sir, who is going to speak on parenting. It's a very important session because I think sir had mentioned this a few days back that he wanted to take this session. And I request everyone to log in tomorrow. I'm going to send the details on the groups. And definitely it's a beautifully programmed module. So everyone log in tomorrow at 3:45 sharp. All right. So thank you very much, everyone. I thank all the past presidents for joining in. With everyone's permission, I am ending the meet, and it was a great day. I thank everyone for joining for all the 3 sessions, and all of them were really very good. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Mm.